The Finnish capital of Helsinki. The biting cold is aggravated by a cutting wind. More than 30 Citroën 2CVs have assembled under these inclement conditions to attempt the biennial Raid Laponie, an impossible 3,500 kilometer trek over snow and ice-covered roads through Lapland. Travelling through Finland, Sweden and Norway, the expedition will be heading its way to the northernmost site in Europe, the North Cape. It will be a 10-day trip made by the most Spartan car ever, the Citroën 2CV. Since the car is made for the mild French climate, driving it through Lapland will be a challenge. Now the Raid Laponie 2000 has begun, and the cars can start getting used to conditions. Leaving Helsinki, they will travel over roads in fine condition to get to Vasa. The participants readied their cars as well as possible, and in Helsinki they even mounted the cars with spike-studded tires. And several Dutch participants know from experience that feet stay nice and warm when wearing the traditional Dutch clogs.
From here to here?
From the big toe till the heel. From here till here.
Yeah.
And then I know how many centimeters it is and I know the size.
Okay, I'm going.
Another precaution was to drain the oil and replace it with a special fluid that won't freeze at low temperatures.
The drivers' meeting will start now, and I wish
This is Jukka Isomaki. He's the organizer of the Raid Laponie and responsible for the safety of this international group. No less than 10 countries are participating in the expedition.
January we had minus 40 degrees here.
Oh, when the rain goes Laponie, oh, how I wanna be in that number. Oh, when the rain goes Laponie. And when
In the evenings, Jukka shows off his unique 2CV, mounted with skis. He won't be able to take the skis with him through Lapland, though. The snow tires will have to do. The first country through which the 35 participants will come is Finland, a land where Santa Claus lives during the rest of the 364 days of the year, and where a lot of jobs consist of building snow and ice castles. For the 2CV drivers, these tidbits of information are just side issues. They're here to battle against the elements with their cars. The participants know their 2CV through and through, but are unused to the extreme conditions here.
I
must do it because there's only been about 3 British guys done it before, and that was at least 5 years ago. And this raid has been forgotten in Britain, so I had to come and do it and take the experience back.
This is for me and my dushevo feeling.
It's doing the adventure with the car, and we know the car, everything about it, so we just take some precautions and go.
Ja, ein bisschen verrückt muss man, glaube ich, schon sein, um sowas zu machen. Ja, aber es macht Spaß.
Ich habe mich vor über 20 Jahren verliebt in das Auto.
Verliebt?
Ja, verliebt in das Auto. Und es ist mir treu geblieben und ich bin meinen Autos treu geblieben. Und somit sind wir auch unheimlich gern unterwegs zusammen.
Is it new? Brand new, absolutely.
Also dass man mit Holländern und Belgiern und Franzosen und Engländern, Amerikanern, sogar Slowenen, Kroaten zusammenkommt und Freunde in ganz Europa gewinnt. Und wir machen auch touren in andere Länder im Sommer und so weiter und treffen die Leute wieder. Und das ist eigentlich das Schönste an der ganzen Sache.
Their goal is to travel in the tiniest of cars to the coldest spot in Europe. Leaving the Finnish town of Vasa, the cars will be going to the Swedish town of Arvidsjaur today. Hundreds of kilometers over ice-covered roads, but conditions here are still reasonable. The cars drive in columns. If problems arise, there will always be another car in the vicinity to help. It's advisable not to lose sight of one another during the trip. The drivers also stay in contact with one another by means of 27 megacycle radios, handy in case of problems, but also nice if you're in need of a little conversation.
So, Jan, how is your race so far? Are you satisfied or too easy?
Too easy, of course.
Each of the various participants has his or her own reasons for joining the group.
It's very complicated. Hard to explain why people do this. I'm the only one here from the United States. In California, you know, Southern California, this is not our weather. It's warm. It's 20 degrees today.
Crossing to Sweden is made by ferry. Nice to stretch the legs, if only for a couple of hours. In Lapland, it becomes light at 10 in the morning, and it's dark again by 3 in the afternoon at this time of the year. As they drive off the ferry, it's dark again, an extra handicap for the two CVs. Barely on Swedish soil and nature's in a friendly mood. The participants get to experience something they had only secretly hoped for. The breathtaking natural phenomenon known as the Northern Lights.
Heb ik dat dan verschillende kleuren zouden zijn? Ja. Prachtig.
Nou, het zal je wel veel doen eigenlijk, hè?
Ja. Ik heb nog geen foto gemaakt, dat is jammer.
Ja.
Zie je echt die hele waas is hier helemaal bewegen, hè?
Ja, ik heb hier zo gaan proberen, maar ik zal weinig zin hebben. Oh, je gaat
Schaaf, hè? Schitterend, hè?
It always makes people stop talking and, you know, and stop driving and look.
Really like a rainbow in the night.
Het beweegt ook, hè? Ja, het is een hele vaas, hè? Helemaal... We hebben al gezoend bij zo'n ding. Ja, ik weet het. Ja, dat is romantisch, hè?
Nee, dat was het hoor.
The two CV drivers take their impressions with them and make their way to the north of Sweden. The next day, Tibor and Bojan, two Croat friends in their Citroën 2CV, have been on their way from Zagreb to Helsinki for weeks. They have but one goal, to make it to the North Cape. If they'll make it, however, is a big question. Their car is already sputtering in protest.
The battery. The regular alternator don't fill the battery.
Yeah, of course, but a little bit to the front. What is this?
This is for
Good luck. 2 chevaux.
Today, the two CVs will be allowed to use a test circuit for Mercedes and BMWs. This way, they can live it up on the ice sheets and get ready for the slipperiness to come. The first days are behind them. The first damages have to be repaired.
Can you tell me what you are doing?
We are trying to repair that wing which we damaged yesterday when driving too fast in some icy Norwegian curve.
You were sitting next to him.
Yes. I don't know. I don't really know how many like rounds we make, but something 2 or 3, and then we first backside to wall, and then front side, and after that again backside, and then it's finished. It's very quiet in the car after that. Only 2 men like sleeping there, because that there falling down. That's it.
As conditions become worse, the risk of accidents increases. Today, the cars will be driven from Arvidsjaur to Falska. This means travelling from Sweden into Norway. On the way, they will pass through the Arctic Circle.
En daarna gelijk er tegen liggen, nog 1.
Oké.
En de weg gaat ietsjes naar links.
The cold becomes more and more of a problem. The roads are narrow. A steering error and you'll land in the verge.
What happened?
Oh well, I just came a little bit too close to the side, and the road goes like this, and I couldn't steer at all anymore. It just went. Nothing. Nobody blessed. Nothing happened. But let's see how we get it out again.
What are you going to do now?
We just go on. I do not sleep while driving and watch the road a bit better. I hope nothing happened to the wheels.
Nothing wrong, or so it seems. But a few kilometers farther on, and the car has stopped again.
Nothing to see. Looks quite normal.
What was the problem?
When I drive, the steering wheel goes like this. So maybe the axle is hit a little bit. So I just take it easy, drive a little bit slower, and get me a new fender at home.
Just as there is for sailors crossing the equator, there's also a ritual for the participants in the raid Laponie when they cross the Arctic Circle. The two CV drivers are treated to fish on crackers. The tins of fish, however, have already passed their sell-by date by a number of years. It can't hurt you, everyone assures us, but the smell is unbearable.
Het schijnt een vies, maar bijzonder ritueel te zijn. Ik ken het niet. Alle mensen die het al eerder hebben gedaan, die lachen zich een hoedje. Dus ja, moet maar kijken. Moet maar kijken. Ja. De rennie is op scherp, hè, zij zeggen. Ja, in de auto nadigheid, heerlijk. Dus we doen het raam al open.
They're making bark.
About 5 years ago, I took a bunch of Europeans to Death Valley in August. It was about 48 degrees. So they said, sometime we'll have to get even and take you back to the Arctic Circle. So here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Smell it.
Can I smell?
Yes, of course.
You don't have to come this close.
Nee, dat is...
Ja, lekker. Het is wel heel zout.
Whisky, whisky, whisky.
While the raiders celebrate their passage through the Arctic Circle, the Croats 2CV is undergoing heavy repairs. They're still having problems.
But you had some problems with the car, eh?
Yes, but now it's okay.
What was the problem?
Battery.
Still a battery?
Yes, still battery. We must change.
We don't know.
Today.
We don't know what it is. Is it regular or electric machine? A beret machine. Something it really is.
The temperature starts to drop. The snow becomes increasingly heavier. The journey is becoming a survival mission. The thickly covered roads become increasingly inaccessible for the two CVs. The part of the road that's still navigable becomes narrower and narrower. In this case, passing is almost impossible.
Hoe kan dat nou gebeuren, zoiets? Kijk, dat is natuurlijk een kwestie van dat ja, de weg is zo smal, hè. En je moet tevens regisseren en zorgen dat die mensen er langs kunnen. En dan raak je van de weg af te glad, hè.
Maar het is gelukkig goed afgelopen, toch?
Het is goed afgelopen. Er zijn geen builen opgelopen en geen schrammen. Alles is goed. En de muts is ook nog goed.
Once you're into the verge, it's a devil of a job to get the duck back up on the road. Even with the help of other duck drivers, it's not easy.
Ja. Kijk, als je er sta je aan.
Nou moet het lukken.
Hij moet eigenlijk eerst net een stukje naar achteren. Hij moet eronder aangedrukt, hè? Die vorm van het chassis dat zit erin. Dus hij moet eigenlijk eerst even een stukje naar achteren. Probeer eens. Probeer eens. Ja, 1, 2. Hij zit vast op chassis. Ja. Handrem erop. Hey! Woe!
Even naar de blikschade kijken, maar dat is wel het belangrijkste.
Oké. Fantastisch. Ah, mooi foutje. Mooi foutje.
Je hebt een onderkant, hè? Maar dat is gepakt. Je kan hem aan, dat moet nog blijven doen. Zat.
Ah, hij is vrij. Hij doet het weer.
With the utmost of effort, they've succeeded in getting this car out of the verge.
We hebben de eend. De eend is een van de weinige auto's waar je bijna alles mee kunt doen. Waar normale auto's ophouden, dan begint het van de eendpas. Er zijn trajecten waar je met de grootste treinauto feitelijk niet doorheen kunt komen, maar voor de eend is dat geen probleem. Het gaat niet altijd even snel, maar je komt er. En daar gaat het om.
Dutch participants Gert-Jan and Nadine decide not to spend this night in a bunk bed in the inn. They spend the night in their 2CV. Warm, comfy and very snug.
Een lekker bed zien. Ja, het is nog niet uitgeklapt, maar ik krijg wel ongeveer een idee van hoe het ligt. Hier kruipen we erin. Kussentjes, dat andere ding klappen we nog naar voren.
Je gaat hier slapen.
Tot aan de vooruit met onze benen.
Dat is toch onmogelijk, haast? Of ligt het lekker?
Ja, het ligt best wel lekker. Je hebt hier ruim 2-persoonsbed. Wat wil je nou nog meer? Die hokjes hier zo, dat is allemaal zulke bedjes in een stapelbed. Hier kunnen we lekker tegen elkaar aanleggen.
Six hours into their sleep, and the cars are covered in a thick layer of snow. Gert-Jan and Nadine, however, haven't noticed a thing.
Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen. Hoe is het ermee?
Ja, lekker. Goed geslapen.
Heerlijk.
Weten jullie wat voor weer het buiten is?
Het sneeuwt. Oh, het heeft goed gesneeuwd vannacht, zeg. Er ligt dik daar een pak sneeuwpalauto's. Dat is gaaf.
Lekker geslapen in de eend?
Heerlijk.
Ja, slaapt
dat...
echt beter. Beter als die stapelbed, echt.
Dus je komt...
Auto zo met de deur open in je slaapkamer.
Nou, weet je wat? Doe hem even snel weer even dicht. En tot zometeen.
Yo.
Slaap je in Nederland ook wel eens in de eend of niet?
Ja, als ik ben wezen stappen. Dan mag je niet meer rijden en dan heb ik mijn bed bij me, dus dat is handig. Wel vast zitten, hè?
For the next 2 days, the journey will go through the Norwegian town of Melbu toward the Swedish town of Kiruna.
nou alleen naar boven lopen. Die is te zwaar met ons tweeën erin. Ben jij er aan dik op erin? Ja.
The drivers are increasingly confronted with elk and reindeer on the road. Vision is poor, and it gets harder and harder to avoid the animals. A collision with a reindeer can result in damage, but a crash with an elk can be fatal. The two CVs pass a wrecked lorry. The driver has driven into an elk. The lorry was badly damaged and shot off the road. The elk was only slightly injured and fled back into the woods. Once having reached Melbu, the expedition heads toward the Swedish town of Kiruna. The hills have become somewhat smaller. In spite of the difficult trip, the drivers take the time to enjoy the natural environment.
Als je nou eens om je heen kijkt, is het net het einde van de wereld, hè?
Ja, volgens mij wel. Dat is hier ook. Vroeger dacht ik dat het Groningen was. Maar dat is het hier volgens mij. Maar het is ook zo, we zijn ook aan het einde van de wereld. Overal zit sneeuw. Ik heb het koud, jongens, dat wil je niet weten. Oeh. Ik ga mijn onderbroek in de auto zitten. Anders blijf mijn kneus nog op.
The end of the raid Laponie is almost in sight. But before they get there, the drivers hold their last drivers' meeting to try and determine if they can make it to the North Cape the next day. The weather forecast isn't good. Strong winds and heavy snowfall. It's hard to arrive at a decision, but it's finally concluded that such a drive is simply too risky and too dangerous. The raid Laponie won't end at the North Cape, but in the Finnish town of Heta. In spite of the expected blizzard, Croats Bojan and Tibor are going to try to reach the North Cape, but who's going to go with them? Ultimately, nobody wants to join them. The group will head on to Heta, where they will spend the last days of the raid Laponie. Tibor and Bojan get ready for the ordeal. It's doubtful, however, if their car will be able to make it. Getting it started in the morning is a chore in itself. Bojan and Tibor finally leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, when the outside temperature is 20 degrees below zero. They'll have to cover the 700 kilometers today to reach the North Cape.
How is it going? That's good, but car is also frozen. You hear? Yes.
The car's heating system gave up yesterday, but the boys have dressed warmly and taken some snaps along for extra warmth. Bojan and Tibor both live in Zagreb. They met one another at a 2CV gathering in Greece. It was then that they promised each other that they would take their 2CV to the North Cape.
We met yesterday one guy who is from here, and they asked us where we're going. We told that we're going to Nordkapp. He asked him that we are crazy because in winter to Nordkapp nobody goes, only we. The first color is red of this car, and now it's Dalmatiner car.
Why? How come?
Because Dalmatiner is Croatian dogs, and we come here and present Croatia like this, with this car.
Are you proud to come from Croatia?
Yes, to Nordkapp, yes. It's big stuff, very big stuff.
Why do you want to reach it?
Why? I don't know, because I'm crazy.
It's getting cold, huh?
Where my fingers are frozen.
Frozen hand?
Frozen fingers, yes. It really is. And the wind is very strong. Yes, it's cold. My friends asked me why don't I go with some other car here? And why with this, who hasn't got good heating, who can stop? But I said no, just with this car, not with any other.
The door is a bit frozen, I guess, huh?
I feel like help.
You want to turn this? Yes, it is.
The North Cape is located on an island. The last stretch, about 30 kilometers, is uphill. On the way, it becomes obvious that the road to the North Cape is closed. But for Bojan and Tibor, it's still no reason to turn back.
I must admit I'm a little bit scary. I don't know what is expecting me there, the temperatures, the feelings. But you have to be brave and keep on going. About 100 kilometers and I'm more and more like a bomb. Anytime I could explode. All our friends that come to when the ceremony was going on, when they were saying goodbye to us, each of them get with self one bottle of schnapps. And I must say we drink a lot of, because our Webasto is not heating so well, and this is a natural way to be warm.
Less than 60 kilometers from the northernmost spot in Europe. The 2CV is still holding up, and even the weather conditions are cooperating. It's cold and windy, but it's not snowing, at least not yet. The island on which the North Cape is located is linked to the mainland only by tunnel.
Yes, you can make it.
Yes.
When they emerge from the tunnel, the Croats are close to the North Cape. Their first goal has been reached. They have covered 670 kilometers today. From this point, it's only another 30 kilometers.
Buddy! Nordkapp! Nordkapp!
They know that these will be the hardest 30 kilometers. The North Cape is located at an elevation of 300 meters. The road is closed and blizzards are being forecast. Not until now have they realized how extreme the weather here can be. Bojan and Tibor's 2CV rides along for several kilometers between walls of snow, towering meters above it.
And the problem is when the wind blows or some track goes, and the whole snow goes to the car and we cannot see anything.
Now the predicted storm really erupts. Bojan and Tibor's 2CV has to struggle against the wind. The only way to get uphill is to drive in reverse. With such low temperatures, one of the two daredevils has to sit on the bonnet so that his weight provides the wheels with better traction. Bojan keeps on driving without Tibor. He thinks that Tibor is in the television crew's car, but he's not. People are really frightened. A feverish discussion takes place, but Tibor is still nowhere to be found.
I didn't see Tibor.
Tibor is down. They come up to you. It's not with you.
Oh shit, we didn't see him. Okay, you stay there.
No, I go down. You stay with the car here.
A rush of relief can be felt as they see Tibor emerge from a car that just happens by.
Why did you run away from me?
Where were you?
I was stuck down in the middle of nothing. It really was not nice. You know what the feeling? Everyone is gone and no lights, and I was there and I could nothing see, just wind, and I didn't know where is the road. And then this woman came and I stopped, please, and she picked me up.
We thought you were in the 2CV.
No, I was pushing Bojan and he started and go away, and of course he couldn't stop.
Under these conditions, the North Cape will not be reached. Tomorrow, a last attempt. The weather today is even worse than it was yesterday. In the direction of the North Cape, violent snowstorms are brewing, and the road has definitely become impassable. Driving can be done only with the utmost of effort. The 2CV inches forward. Snowplows attempt to clear the road, but it's simply impossible. The only way to go forward is in convoy. Then, 24 kilometers away from the North Cape, an end comes to the uphill trudge. It is clear to the Croats that the road will remain impassable for days, and that it will be impossible to reach the North Cape. Tibor and Bojan can't believe and don't want to believe that their adventure has come to an end here. They wage yet one last attempt with people from the road service.
It's impossible to do it today. To go up, it's impossible. Why did you go back?
Because the car of security here tell us that we must go back.
The wind was so strong and the road was too icy and
we can go up. We go when if we go to back gear, but they don't
allow that.
I talked to the same security man. They now close the road. Probably it will be closed for a couple of days.
Days? No, it mustn't be. We must. We are here. We are 20 kilometers. We must go there. We've done 4,000 kilometers till now, and this is stupid if we didn't climb on the top.
Oh, it's possible.
I'm really not kidding.
No, it cannot be. We have to do something. We really have to do something. We are here. We have to go there.
If we rent a snow scooter, maybe we go to Nordkapp.
This is kind of possibility, but it's not that we want it. We wanted to come with 2 CV there.
No trees, no animal,
no people,
no people,
no anything.
Only snow and mountains.
And we.
We and our Dalmatiners to see. We must make it to Nordkapp.
You're really not kidding us?
No, I'm not. Shit.
This is really true.
Making it to the North Cape is now impossible, but their situation is even worse. They may not be able to get off the island because that road is closed too.
Why is it closed?
It's too bad weather.
Bad weather?
Yes.
Where? After the tunnel?
Yes.
What?
From the tunnel to that block.
It's bad weather. What?
Yes.
Snowstorms or?
No, it's like this.
No? Better or worse?
Worse.
Worse.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You are unlucky, are you?
Very disappointed. But okay, what can you do? It can never be everything possible.
Shit. Sorry. The road is closed.
Because of the snow.
In tunnel.
No, after the tunnel.
After the tunnel.
Yes.
We must waiting 1 hour and a half.
Yes.
Shit.
We have a lot of things in our heads, in our memories, and that's the most important. And there is nothing special at Nordkapp. It's just like here, but it's Nordkapp.
Ultimately, however, things work out. The last convoy still has to leave the island. It's their last chance to be able to reach Heta today, and they grab for it. They've worked out their disappointment. Only the memories still count, and those will never be forgotten. Their final goal, missed by a mere 20 kilometers. Nevertheless, the two Croats are greeted as heroes in Heta by the group that had stayed behind. From now on, they can put the official title of Super Finn after their names. Regardless, Bojan and Tibor already know for sure that in another 2 years, they're going to make another winter run for the North Cape.